Hi, welcome to the Big Bear Homestead, and today is episode 2 in the home improvements, home maintenance series that we got going on. So today we're fixing a switch. Okay, so today we're going to change out a switch. Now, the tools that you need to be able to change out the switch are pretty much the same tools that you needed to change out the outlet. You're still going to need your voltmeter. You're still going to need a standard screwdriver. Still going to need your pliers and your Phillips head screwdriver. Now, the really cool thing is you really probably don't need this one. Why? You just turn the light on, then when you go over to the breaker box and you flip that breaker, if you flip the correct breaker, guess what? There's no light. So, we're going to go over to the breaker box and we're going to flip it and then we'll be back. Okay, to change out the switch, well, just like the outlet, the very first thing you have to do is take off the faceplate. Now, unlike the outlet, this one has two screws, that is, 2 screws. So, we're going to take these screws out. Take our faceplate off. Okay, lay it down over there so it's not in the way. Now, just like our outlet, you've got mounting screws, so we got to back them out. Those are Phillips. Most of your face plates will always be standard and everything else will be Phillips. Okay, now let's pull our old switch out. Now, switches are different than daisy chaining a outlet. Okay, now, just for safety purposes, I'm going to go ahead and test to make sure I don't have any power here because I don't trust anybody when it comes to power. And it's dead. Okay? Now, things that are different. Okay? Now, as you can see, this is a single switch, so only the hots, the black wires, are on the switch. The neutrals are tied together with what's called a wire nut. Now, a wire nut is just that. Okay? You put the two wires in there together, and then this little wire nut, okay, it screws down on them, and that's what twists them together. And there's a connection in there because there's in the very tip of this, I don't know if you can see it, but it's metal in there. Okay, so that's what keeps the connection. Now, I'm not going to take all of this apart because it would be too much of a pain in the keister. But you can see you've got both neutrals right here from both wires. Now, why do we have 2 wires? Well, you have the hot wire, which is the wire that's coming from the circuit breaker to the switch. Okay? And then you have the wire coming from your light fixture to here. Okay, so this is how you get it. Now with electricity, you got to have a what's called a closed circuit. For your light to turn on, that circuit has to be closed. Okay, which means just like a highway, the power needs to be able to run all the way through. And what a switch does is it opens that circuit so that the power stops right there at the switch, and it can't complete to go to the light to make the light turn on. So you have that screwed back on there. Okay? And all you really do with a single switch is all you have to do is take your hot wires off just like you do the outlet. Okay? You unscrew them, pop them off, take this old switch, throw it away, take your new switch and put them back on just like you did with the outlet. Okay? Now, one of the things that you always should do, okay, make sure that's on good and tight. And then just tuck it back into your box. That way it doesn't move around a lot and you're good to go. Especially if you have a metal box. If I had a metal box in here, I would also wrap it with electrical tape. That's just me. You don't have to, but that's just me. But since it's a plastic box, I'm not going to worry about it too much. You got your hot wires hooked back up. Your grounds. Now your grounds, for both of them, you just wrap one ground around the other and then connect one to your outlet. Or your switch. Okay? And then you just place it back in there. Place your new one in there. Now, these are a little bit harder to muscle in because, again, you're fighting with two sets of wires. Okay? Just like with the outlet that we showed you with the outlet, you just walk them in there. Do your best to try to keep it centered because you don't want your outlet off, or your switch off center, because it can move either way. So do your best to try to keep it in the center. And what I mean by center is the center of the outlet. The center of the box. Because these wires will cockeye these things all around. So you just screw them in there like such. When you get close to where you want to be, you step back, you kind of eyeball it a little bit. And then go ahead and lock her down. And it's easy peasy. Very simple. Very easy to do. And then you go back over, flip the breaker, which my son will do for us right now. Alright, we got the breaker flipped. You flip your switch, your light comes back on. Now, when doing this, when you're doing electricity, like I said when we were doing the outlet one, you have to be careful. Electricity can bite you. Granted, we're only dealing with 110, 120 here. It's not going to kill you, but it's going to make you go woohoo. But just always be safe. Make sure the power and stuff's always off. Once it's on and it works, take your faceplate, replace your faceplate back on. Now, with outlets, you'll see that you have tiny holes there and here. Okay? And that is where these screws go. Okay? So you put your outlet back on. Try to eyeball it, line it up put the one in there. I don't hold this. Usually once you get one in there, the second one is relatively easy to find. Screw it in. And you are done. You have just replaced a switch. Now, one of the things about these faceplates, okay, they don't have to be so tight that you're like, tight. You want them just snug, because if you get them too tight, you will pop this plastic and break it. So make it just snug. And that's it. Now this is how you do a single switch, okay? We'll get into double switches and stuff later on. Not that many people have that them, but some of them do, where the switch is powering more than just an outlet. Or I'm sorry, just a light fixture. Just like your GFIs, will do them in a later video all to themselves. Okay. I hope this video was real quick, I know. But it was real simple to do. I hope it helped. Don't forget to check us out on the web at www.bigbearhomestead.com. If you can, hit that P, check out our Patreon video. We appreciate any help that you guys are able to offer. Don't forget that we do live shows on Mondays and Saturdays. We're part of the Homestead Network. So please go to the homesteadnetwork.com. That's the homesteadnetwork.com to check out all of the show times for all the other amazing channels that we have in the network. Also, you can come follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Give us the old like on Facebook. If you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them below. We're always looking to interact with our subscribers because we love y'all. If this is your first time here, please think about hitting that subscribe button. And like always, have a nice day.